the K&A table, where we discuss matters politics, matters governance, what is happening in our country, who did what, where, when, why, and how. And of course, we never fail to ask the question, how much more or how much less is the government as well as the taxpayer going to spend? Karibu sana. The comment section is very much open. Feel free to give us your comments as well as your suggestions on matters that we are discussing right here on the K&A table. Most definitely, we are going to be looking at different aspects or different things that have been happening that is today, some which have been dragged from a long time, and also some which are new and also new unveilings as well. Now, of course, starting us off, we cannot continue, or we cannot fail to acknowledge the fact that we are marking the end of the 844 system, now officially done with it completely, as the candidates have marked the end of the KCPE and KPCE. Yeah, exams. Sure, the kusema KPCEA exams, of course. And we have seen the CS, that is of education, clearly state that watoto watapata results before wakule Christmas.
Yeah, before December. Yeah, they're approaching to the end of December.
January. Yes, and most definitely that is something, first of all, very beautiful, and it shows that we are actually moving to a different phase, especially in the education sector in Kenya, which is a very, very beautiful thing to do. Now, moving on to matters discussion today. Now, if you clearly remember, some time back or a few years back, you went and lined up for the so-called Huduma number. Millions of Kenyans turned up to go and get the biometrics done in order to get the Huduma number, which was aimed at ensuring or easing the service delivery in Kenya, number one, as well as easy identification, and also to avoid forgery of national IDs and of even persons out here, And that was during Uhuru's government, Uhuru's term, And now we are in with the issuance of the Maisha number, the Maisha card, as well as the Maisha digital ID, as per what has been announced, or a phase that has actually started right now.
Yes,
today actually, the 1st of November 2023. And we've seen what actually happens. I don't know, do you mind explaining the difference, what you gather or what you garner from the difference between Huduma number and the Maisha number?
To me, I don't see any difference, because the difference is Maisha number, Huduma number. So the difference is Maisha and Huduma. I don't see any difference, by the way. These are the same things, which have similar requirements, similar requirements. The only difference that is there is that we are not going to pick Maisha number from chiefs at home, but it is the same actually. Because how can we tell people that it is different from the other, and yet the government systems are the same? Yeah? The government systems are the same. Huduma remains to be Huduma. The names which were captured in the Huduma number are Kenyans. And the same names remain to be the same names, except those ones who have been not been born, or those ones who have not had their ID cards. Are you seeing? But me, I don't see any difference. Yeah.
And of course, in case you would want to know about the Maisha card that people will start receiving from today, of course, those who are turning 18 are going to be first priority to receive these particular cards, as well as according to the Principal Secretary of Immigration and Citizen Services, he's clearly stated that when you're born or upon birth, you're going to be given a Maisha number, which is the number that you're going to use, that is going to as well translate to when you're an adult and get Now, we also have the issue of the Maisha digital card or Maisha digital ID, which means that at least right now, or with the beginning of the phase of the issuance of this particular cards, you know, we are moving from an analog kind of system to a kind of system, you know, and we've seen billions of money, first of all, being spent during the Huduma number. And for this particular one, uh, they've clearly stated that it's not going to fail. But do you see the Maisha digital ID cards, Maisha number, as well as the Maisha card being something that is going to see or bear fruits, or is it going to sink like a Huduma number?
You see, Tamara,
No.
what is happening on the leadership for the former government?
No.
And what about another president who will come to 2033? Will he continue with the Maisha number? Or he will also come up with the other ideas of forming another, maybe Jamhuri number? You see? So is burdening Kenyans. To me, what I'm seeing, this is overburdening Kenyans. Let me tell you, let Kenyans not be jaded that it will never cost, it is not going to cost anything, any money or what. There is no government. Moses Kuri announced very clearly, any government, whatever, or any government process must involve some gas. I think you can remember what last week, but one, Moses Kuria said about government, yani nini zote za serikali, ukienda kujaza kitu fulani, yunika
A cost.
a cost. Ukienda kufanya hii, yunika a cost. Are you seeing?
No.
So, hii cost ni tofauti na Maisha Huduma. It's the same process. What we are saying, it is digital system, of course, and everything is digital in the government systems. So we cannot tell Kenyans that we are creating a different thing from what we have, but from the systems that are now we have now. This is overburdening. This is one way of overburdening Kenyans. We are not seeing we are not atuhurumiwa Kenya.
Like in the same round, you're not going to like queue in order to give out your biometrics. So it's I could say easy work, easier
now
for
what
Kenyans.
is the big deal? Not queue, because of not going to queue.
Yeah, and they've also stated that they're going to actually work within budget. They're not going to spend as they did spend during the Huduma number initiation.
That is a lie, a big lie, I'm telling you. The government is government. And what is being seen clearly in this government? The citizens must spend. I'm telling you. Let them come openly out and tell the citizens that we must spend. We must over tax you. You know, they are not satisfied with the heavy taxation. This is one way of taxing Kenyans. All these things are the same. Yeah? Except I've told you, the only difference is that Huduma and Maisha. But the number is the same.
It's the same.
It has the same spellings, the same meaning. Are you getting this? Yeah? They are formulating, they are coming up with actually issues, things that are not necessary to Kenyans by now. What we should be looking at is how to revive the economy. Is how tunatakiwa kurudisha fuel chini, tax chini. But nakuambia ukweli, hii ni njia moja ya kuongezea Wakenya tax. And you will see.
And most definitely to our dear viewers, what is your take on the Maisha card, on the Maisha digital identity cards, the Maisha number, and all about, of course, moving from the analog to the digital way of life? Now, of course, the Maisha card is actually designed to have a microprocessor that has encrypted data that will enhance security as well as address the issues of forgery. And it will also assist in creation of that virtual ID, which will now be known as, or which is going to be called the Maisha Digital ID. That is for smartphone users if you're using this. Yes, most definitely. And also, according to the PS, of course, the card will feature a unique personal identifier number known as the Maisha number, as I explained earlier on, which is actually going to be sort of like a lifelong registration number or identification number for its user. So, of course, as stated earlier on, once you get a baby or once someone is born, they're going to be issued with a Maisha number that they're going to use in the birth certificates, and also to access other government services. And then that is later on going to translate to the Maisha card. That is once you turn 18 years old. As you see right now, you use your birth certificate, and then once you turn 18 years old, you get your identity card or identification card. Most definitely, we are going to be giving you more information, of course, as it comes on how you're going to access it. But so far, tunajua ni either ukipoteza, kama upoteza ID card yako, if you're going to replace it right now, you're going to get a Maisha card instead. And if you are turning 18 and applying for your ID card, then you're going to get that as well as if you are born, you know. Now, there's also a group of people in Yetuna Chapel that has clearly not been touched.
For those ones who
the
have
likes
ID,
of us, who have not lost our IDs.
What are they going to do?
Yeah.
They have not mentioned what is supposed to be done to register, or the processes which they are supposed to follow in the registration. Yeah.
But
and you see here, you mentioned birth certificate. You see?
No.
Maisha number, ID, maybe passport, and many other certificates one may have.
No.
Don't you think these are the same? Zinaonyesha mfano mmoja tu. Kama tungekuwa na Maisha and Maisha card iwe inasimamia kila kitu.
No.
Then ingeonekana kuna tofauti.
But with what you're saying, you know, the whole essence here is the number. Because if you look at how Kenyans are identified in the system, of course, in the systems, it's always through numbers, you know. Also, you have an identification number, you have a passport number, you have a birth certificate number. But now, in this case, it's probably going to be the same digit all along.
Let me tell you, my sister Tamara, this system is the worst. I'm not saying people that people remain analog, but let me tell you, it is easier to graft is done during this digital system. Unaona, hii ndio watu wanatumia rahisi kuiba mabrod, kuibia watu pesa kutoka bank, especially through internet banking.
No.
Money has been stolen now. How using this digital system? So I think they could have come out with a framework. Yani hiyo kati iwe unique kistyle fulani, inaweza kukusaidia wakati hata pesa zao ziki. Mimi ningesikia mambo kama hayo, I think but these are the same things I'm telling you. As time comes, you will realize that there is no difference between Huduma number and the Maisha number. The only difference is that is Huduma and Maisha. But number remains the same. It has the same meaning. Yeah. And the people are the same. The system is the same.
No. And those are Mr. Henry Nyamoya's opinion, as well as we'd love to hear your opinion on the issuance of the Maisha card, which commences today officially in Kenya. Is it something that you are up for? Is it something that you feel is going to benefit you, is going to be great when it comes to security? Or what's basically your opinion on the Maisha card? What's your take on digital identification in Kenya? And moving on, we have seen Kawira Mwangaza, who has been the talk of the town, of course, most definitely. And we have seen hearings both yesterday and today, and it's going to continue for the next few days in regards to Kawira Mwangaza's impeachment, that is the Meru governor. Now, during our previous discussion, of course, we saw that the Senate decided to go the plenary way and not the committee way. So, of course, for the plenary way, you are allowed to represent yourself or be represented by yes. Yeah, most definitely. And we have seen the Federation of Women Lawyers, that is FIDA, has offered to actually represent Kawira Mwangaza during the hearing of the impeachment. Now, they sent a letter to the governor expressing its concerns over constant attacks against Kawira Mwangaza. Of course, if you have been following, you know what has been happening in Meru County, you know. And it also cited that the two impeachments that were held or that have happened for Kawira Mwangaza in the past 1 year, and they just want to assist or ensure that Kawira Mwangaza receives justice. And of course, we know that whatever way the Senate has chosen to go in terms of Kawira Mwangaza's impeachment, could probably 70% see Kawira out of office, you know. And we've seen the issue of gender being put inside, of course. That is something that is happening on a daily basis. The constant allegations that whatever is happening is because Kawira Mwangaza is a lady surrounded by men, you know. Today, earlier on Ask Siasa, tukaona amerankiwa one of the best performing governors in the country.
She's one of the best performing governors.
Yes, in the country. Now, let's start with the feeder trying to represent or offering to represent Kawira Mwangaza. When it comes to whatever discussions are happening right now in the Senate, you know, the way that do you see, for example, if Kawira accepts this help, might it bring something different, or might the impeachment session that is currently happening bring something different about Kawira and Meru?
Apart from FITA lawyers,
No.
there are other lawyers who are willing to support Kawira Mwangaza. The matter you can remember last time we had a similar discussion about gender balance.
No.
What did I tell you? Men are the majority in parliament.
No.
And they are the ones who are against this gender balance. They said, they talk about it openly outside there when they are in their meetings, political meetings.
No.
But when it comes to parliament, they feel that motion completed.
No.
Are you seeing this? Okay, you see now there is no woman in Meru who is fighting against Kawira Mwangaza. It's only men. Have you heard anywhere any woman in Meru fighting against Kawira Mwangaza?
Oh yes, most definitely. There's a group of women that came up to state that they do not want Kawira Mwangaza because Kawira Mwangaza does not represent or does not cater for the needs.
Those are the wives of
for the needs of women.
Those are the wives of MCAs who are against Kawira Mwangaza.
But no, listen, because they actually stated that even in Kawira Mwangaza's office, out of the number of workers that are there, the gender rule has not been observed, because most of the people who work with Kawira Mwangaza, or most of the people that Kawira has given opportunities, are male compared to women. And that is why the women were coming forward to state that why we are impeaching, or why we are voting against for impeaching Kawira Mwangaza, is because she has not been performing as a governor, and also she has not been catering or representing the women in Meru County, giving them an opportunity to actually lead, starting with her office.
But even the former governors who were in Meru never balance gender issue. They never. They are against Kawira Mwangaza now because she's a woman. But even themselves, they did not meet the requirement of gender balance. That one I assure you for free. They are against what they did not do themselves. What I mean, Of course, there can be women in Meru who again are against Kawira Mwangaza, but the majority of the people on the ground are supporting Kawira Mwangaza. I'm telling you. Okay, FIDA is one of the organizations when you wanafanya research. I think they have gone to the ground. They have records. They must be equipped with records concerning Kawira Mwangaza. And you know, Kawira is not the first governor in Meru. There was Munya. There was Kawira, Kiraitu Murungi.
No.
What did they do? Kwa nini watu waliwakataa? Why did the people not vote for Kiraitu Murungi second time? Huh? You should ask yourself such questions. And the answer is that Kawira must be somebody ambaye anafanya kazi on the ground. Let me tell you, that's a reality. Kwa maana hatuwezi ambiwa Kiraitu Murungi alikuwa anafanya na akatolewa. Munya alikuwa anafanya na akatolewa. Munya alifanya aliweka gender balance na akatolewa. Kiraitu akaweka gender balance na akatolewa. That's a big lie. Are you seeing, my sister? So don't believe so much what people say, politicians say outside here. You can be alleged in several ways, some of them, even you yourself. Uelewi. Unaona? So what we are saying is, I'm not saying kwamba mtu akipatikana na shida, maybe she has looted public money, she has grabbed public land, and again, hajapatana na zile requirements. Unanielewa? Eti hawa hivyo? No. But there are other ways, other avenues za kustaki huyu, kama ni hizo grafti nini. Lakini ukiangalia kesi ya Kawira Mwangaza, even the allegations that they are giving have no basis. They have no ground. They have no supporting documents. Yeah. You cannot say ameandika watu wa kanisa. Which evidence do you have? Can you produce those people in court? And what if they meet requirements? Kwa maana are they from Meru or from other counties? These are simple questions I'm asking myself, and other people are asking outside them. So, if you see with what is happening all over the country, from every region, is the same as Kawira Mwangaza's problems. You have seen Kiambu is also cooking.
No.
You have seen Kakamega is on the process.
Things are hot.
You are seeing what is happening in Kisii. Already has happened. And everywhere, I'm telling you. So what we are saying, give governors time to work for the people. Hata angalau miaka miwili. Mtu akishindwa sasa hii ungekuwa unanisikia nikiongea vile naongea. Unaona? But not 1 year. That is a count, not a country. Yeah, najua unaweza niuliza na kwa nini we are blaming the president.
Yeah. Of course, that is a question we have to ask every single place when you blame the president for what is happening in Meru, whereas the leadership in Meru is the one that is actually in wrangles. They're supposed to actually, because we've had some call for intervention from the president to actually intervene in Meru County to hold talks with Mithika Lunturi as well as Kiraitu Murungi, because according to them, they're the ones who are actually starring the fire yenye iko Meru, because we also saw, for example, like during the first impeachment, Kawira's first impeachment, after the Senate actually made its decision to bring her back in, we saw the likes of the deputy president actually call the Meru leaders and to try to get to bring peace, in that particular region. Now, for this particular session, do you think it should also be something that is that should happen. Probably the president or the deputy president to come together with leaders, with Meru leaders, and try and bring sanity. Because whether or not Kawira remains in office, Meru still has to continue. Meru is slightly behind, let's say, progress because of the ongoing wrangles. Should the president intervene, and if so, at what point, for example?
Are we telling Kenyans that the opinion polls which we are released recently is not accurate? It is what has been done. It is research that has been done on the ground. They have taken enough on the research. And what people are wondering, if Kawira Mwangasa is one of the best performing governors, does it mean these other people are not seeing what Kawira Mwangasa is doing on the ground or Meru counts? Now, again, Tamara, and you will come to believe that I also know why I'm not a supporter of Kawira Mwangasa. But remember, Kawira Mwangasa has no MCA who can support her. Reasons being, she was elected through an independent ticket as an independent candidate. The MCAs are for various, different parties, from different parties.
Yes, 100%.
And it is too earlier, actually. It is too earlier. It is too earlier for Kawira Mwangasa. Let them give her a chance, actually. Let them give her a chance. Yeah.
No, I'm saying who will intervene in Meru? Because if you say that the MCAs,
the Senate, only the Senate,
but the
not even
MCAs,
the
but the MCAs are the ones who are working hand in hand with the governor, whether it's Kawira or any other governor. Now, if they're not working hand in hand with the current governor to an extent that they've impeached the governor herself, if she is returned back by the Senate, will that guarantee, or who will intervene to ensure that now the MCAs work hand in hand with the governor to ensure, of course, prosperity of the county?
Yeah. What we determine is the ruling of the Senate. What will come out of the Senate? I think that will be the final decision. Are you getting? So, with MCAs, what did they do last time? They impeached Kawira, and the Kawira again
came back.
And this has happened in Embu County. Martin Wambora was impeached 3 times, but the Senate
brought him back.
Yeah.
Anyway, of course, we're looking forward to seeing the future.
So it will determine
of Kawira Mwangasa.
It will depend on what the Senate will come out with. If they say, wakipata Kawira akona makosa, then she will go home to seek for a fresh mandate. But it will be, I don't know what I can call it. What if, again, Kawira Mwangasa wins these people? What will they say? Because from the look of things, Kawira has support on the ground, Meru. Not these few people, politicians. Yeah.
Okay, most definitely we are looking forward to seeing the fate, considering the fact that all of the MCs voted against her or voted to impeach her,
Like so, what happened to Wambura? They all voted against him. But the Senate retained him. And it will also depend on what the Senate will come out with. Yeah.
Most definitely, 100%. Now, moving on, of course, as we head to wind up, we know that a lot of questions are being asked. Kenyans on X, or formerly known as Twitter, as well as other people on different social media platforms are asking the question, what is going to happen to Raila now that he set foot in State House? We've even seen the clip where the deputy president clearly stated that yeye anachunga State House. Actually, imekuja
Ameweka
back to life.
ameweka mikakati.
Yes, now imekuja back to life, you know. And you know, the question that for the longest time, especially mostly this year, we've seen leaders, or we've had the talk of political loyalty, you know, or party loyalty out here, with us seeing some of the leaders being kicked out of ODM because of probably siding with, working with, not working with, but siding with the opposition of the opposition, now with their opponents, you know. That is Kenya Kwanza, as well as the UDA, you know. And right now, the biggest question has always been, what if the higher power decides to link or shake hands or be in the same room with the current power, which is the president of Kenya, of course. And that is something we saw during the banquet yesterday, because it's still a topic of discussion, you know.
And my sister, why are we linking the ceremony which was held in State House with handshake? Why are we linking it with handshake? Why are we suspecting? So does it mean the ceremony? You know, the ceremony was not for the government.
No.
It was for the
British government. No.
So whoever dignitaries were invited were supposed to come and attend. And from reliable sources is the King Charles, who demanded Raila to attend the meeting. And remember, even the freedom fighters, the colonial freedom fighters who were celebrated yesterday, is Raila who took them to Uingereza during the time when he was a prime minister. And they were compensated. They were compensated to rule Raila. So the King Jairus, knows very well that Raila is the one who was involved. Yeah. In the negotiations concerning the colonial fighters. Yeah.
Most definitely. And now, you know, you've raised the question before explaining something, which now raises the question, why are Kenyans, why are people linking it to the handshake?
Why are we seeing it as a possible handshake?
Yeah.
And yet we understand the ceremony that was held in State House was for British government.
No.
Yeah? Okay. Why wherever Raila meet, because people meet, mountains never meet.
No.
Obviously, Raila and Ruto can meet. They are human beings. They can meet anywhere. Where are we linking them? Always, where are we seeing possible handshake? Even when they are not aware of that.
No.
Yeah? We suspected a handshake when Ruto visited Ruarand.
No.
It never happened.
No.
And in the same discussion like the one we are having today, I told you there is nothing like handshake. Do you remember?
Yes,
did it happen? It isn't. It never happened.
It never happened, yes, most definitely.
So, Kenyans, we are actually moving very fast. The meeting, the ceremony which was State House yesterday was for British government, not celebrations of Raila and Ruto to form handshake. And actually, you've mentioned about the deputy president. I always tell people, I always tell you that the deputy president has no experience in politics. Ruto is a giant politician. It's one of the giant politicians. We have the oldest politicians we have in this country. He has been in politics for a long time. The only government Ruto did not attend is Kenyatta government. But all these other governments, the government of Moi, Ruto was assistant minister, but a trustee of the president. The government of Kenyatta, Ruto was an agriculture minister and very powerful in opposition.
Of Kibaki.
No. The government of Uhuru, Ruto was a deputy president, and today is a president. So Ruto is not doing in politics. It's not like can come out and say anything because of ignorance. But remember, politicians must be very careful. They need to be very careful for what comes out of their mouths. Because what you say today remember it will come. It's on the way coming.
Yeah.
It will come tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the people will prove you wrong.
No.
Yeah.
People will use it against
you.
you.
Will use it to fight you. Yeah? Will use it to weigh you, your capacity, your capability in politics.
No.
So that's why I'm saying Gachagua is not experienced. He has no experience in politics, my sister. He was a mere Dio. He was a Dio, not a mere Dio, I'm sorry. He was a Dio. Huh? He was a Dio, in fact. Yeah? That was his role. Even Uhuru Kenyatta, Gachagua came to know Uhuru Kenyatta when Uhuru Kenyatta was Minister for Local Government. And Gachagua being a Dio. Are you seeing this? So he has no experience, I'm telling you. When Dios have experience in politics, they don't. You know their role. You know their role very well. So Kenyans, we are moving very fast in suggesting what is not even a dream of other people. We are dreaming, we are suggesting, nitasema nini? Tunaota kwa niaba yao badala waote. Unaona?
Yeah.
Tunaota kwa niaba yao badala wafanye nini? Waote. So there is nothing like handshake. Even today, that's what I'm saying. Okay, even if it happens to be a handshake, is there any problem? Raila is a Kenyan. He's a senior leader. He's a politician who has support on the ground. Millions of money in this, many people in this country support Raila. And the Ruto knows very well. That's why he has never commented. You know, if you listen to the statements of the president, he knows himself where he has come from. He knows how wrong he has been in politics. He knows Raila very well because they have been together in politics. He was a junior to Raila. So he understands Raila very well. Otherwise, he knows with the backup of Raila, he will be more powerful and say it through second term than Gachagua. That's why I always say central. Central is nearly knocking, at the door knocking to opposition. And you will see this. And you will see this actually.
Of course, most definitely. We are here for a long time, I would say. We are going to witness all this. And most definitely, while we saw the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka address the issue of the cost of living, as well as addressing the issue of Raila's visit to the State House during the banquet that was happening there after welcoming the King Charles. We have seen the National Dialogue Committee resumed, of course, its discussions, and top of the agenda right now is the cost of living, you know. And some of the, of course, according to the National Dialogue Committee, they've reached out or sent invitations to the likes of the Department of Housing, Treasury, as well as the Ministry of Energy to try and discuss on how they can stabilize, of course, Kenya, especially when it comes to now the cost of living, which is actually the main reason as to why this particular talks came, you know. And on your side, I would like you to comment on some of the proposals that have been given out to try and address the cost of living, I'd say. So one of them, of course, is reviewing the existing tax structures in order to make that one. Number two, we have reducing taxes, of course, on essential commodities, and we have broadening the tax base. That is by registering and taxing households that are in the informal sectors, and also enhancing, of course, transparency and accountability of the government when it comes to these such operations, in order to at least promote good and ethical standards of governance when it comes to public offices.
Yes. And you know, my sister, what we need to do, we need to reduce fuel price and reduce tax. essential commodities, the prices of essential commodities will automatically come down.
No.
If we reduce fuel prices and
taxation,
then the prices of essential commodities will automatically come down. That's what they know. And also what I can advise the bipartisan talks is that let them involve stakeholders. Stakeholders, I mean those ones who deal with like the Minister of Finance. They are stakeholders concerning the economy.
No.
They involve them. And also, they should know that they are the ones who will rescue this country. They are the ones who can only rescue this country with concerning the amendments they will come out with from their talk.
No.
And what Kenyans are requesting from them is that let them not be biased to support any of their political sides where they come from. Let them really be serious working for Kenyans in solving the problems which are is facing Kenyans. Yeah.
100%. And of course, that is where we're going to end our discussions today on the Q&A table. Most definitely, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to leave you with this particular video where Kalonzo Musyoka, of course, was addressing, number one, the issue on matters cost of living by the National Dialogue Committee, as well as Raila's visit to State House that happened yesterday, that is on the 31st of October 2023. So from the Q&A table, of course, from Mr. Hande Nyamwe and I, we're saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Thank you.
How was the dinner yesterday? Very nice dinner. The king. 8 course. With the king. Yes. And the pressure of the king. Yes. Is that a testimony that enforcement of the DPP by this office that have been stabilizing Jubilee. Yes. Let her Today you'll get a statement. Ama.
You can say.
Dakika moja. Sawa tu. What the statement was.
So this morning we had brought the information of what had happened. So we resolved that because today we're supposed to get Minister of Housing to make presentation, but they were not available, so we've agreed that they will join with the Treasury team and the Energy team on Monday, and we're also going to get other experts so that we're not just going to be dealing with implementers of these taxation proposals in order to get a balanced view to enable the work of this committee. We'd want to hear other experts as well. So those ones are going to be, a statement is going to issue for the Skemane saying, we've asked again to come up with that statement, including our work schedule. We propose to complete our work by the 22nd. I think that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
By the 22nd of November, because we don't want to seek any extension. We want to be able to be done over with this whole thing. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio mpangilio ambao tuko nao.
Jana tuliona baadhi ya wataalamu wa uchumi wakifika hapo jana. Sijui kama mapendekezo yale ambayo walitoa, labda kama kamati mnazingatia vipi na labda mnapanga kuchukulia ama kuzingatia vipi?
Nilitangulia kusema kwamba bado kuna wengine ambao leo tulikuwa tuwatarajia, lakini kwa sababu ya hali ya makalenda zao tukaona kwamba tutawasikiliza Jumatatu ijayo, kisha baadaye timu zenyewe zitajaribu kuyatatua yale ambayo yako pale, sio kuyatatua wengine wenye ushawishi mkubwa, wengine ushawishi mdogo hivi, lakini hatua ambayo tutachukua sisi wenyewe itabainika wazi baada ya kuwasikiliza wote.
Awali kulikuwa na haja ya IMF na World Bank pia kushirikishwa, labda hatua hii ilifika wapi?
Hatujawahi kuwapata hawa Bretton Woods. I think we discussed that tukati tulikuwa kule Elementator, na hata hivyo Wakenya wako na akili maalum za ajabu.
You are the kind of, I'm certain you were here yesterday. You've seen how enriching the engagements we had yesterday with our own local economic experts were.
Yeah.
And they're even more appraised with local issues than even those in the Bretton Woods institutions. Therefore, since they have not confirmed, we have not scheduled them, since they have not confirmed appearance.
Yeah.
As His Excellency has said, by Thursday, we shall now review and consider as a committee all the proposals that will have come to us from all the experts, and thereafter retreat to do the final report. And as His Excellency has said, on or before the 22nd, we expect to give the final report to the principals and also table our report before Parliament, both houses.
Asanteni bana. Hey, what is your problem? No, jikuna bana. Sema.
Ungasema shida ni njaa.
So the former Prime Minister at State House, is it a sign of...
Is that an issue for us really? A sign of what? You know, when you remember one time, I think it was the Deputy President who said I went there during the climate summit, remember? And that he actually made a big joke of it, that he said I seem to have enjoyed the meal, whatever. Similarly, at the level of Prime Minister, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, I can tell you some of us are on a standing list we held, right? That we would be invited in the event of an important state guest like His Majesty King Charles III. So it should not be seen beyond that.
Just